Good day to all of you. I'm here to discuss how to write your first research paper, whatever your course is. Using the techniques that I have provided in my channel, the Edwinus Prime channel. So we use that 6 videos to write your first research paper. Doesn't matter whatever your course is. You can write your own first research paper. But there is a requirement. You can write your own research paper, but the paper should be about classification. If you are a BS Bio or from agricultural department, there are so many departments in agriculture. Example, you can classify plants, classification of cacao species and grading, classification in terms of leaves, flowers, fruits. An example is the Irish dataset, in which the 3 species of the Irish flower has been identified, classified, differentiated. So the clue here is the Irish dataset. You pattern your data to the Irish dataset. And if your data has that kind of feature, then you can subject it to this technique. That data is applicable. That data can be used in this technique. Whatever your major is, whatever your course, there's always something to classify. Another technique revelation. So in this video, I am going to reveal some technique, so many techniques. Even if you don't have your own data, you can use the data of other people. This data is available in various open source repositories. It is the open source data technique will save you time, but make sure that the classification was not done using the MATLAB classification learner app. So if you decide that you will not make your own data, but instead use the other people's data in various open source repositories, make sure that that data has not been subjected to MATLAB classification learner app. But I doubt, because MATLAB classification learner app has just been introduced in the academy just recently, not more than 10 years ago. So we can take advantage that not many researchers are doing or publishing research paper using this technique or using this app. If you go to the second approach of using other people's data, one such example is the Open Source Data Repository, the UCI Machine Learning Repository, with this email address. The Irish dataset is also in this machine learning repository, and there are various there are various data available in this repository. If you can find the data applicable to your course or data that is not your interest, you can still look for other open source repositories available. Just Google it, and it's up to you. The drawback is you can save time not measuring physically the features of a plant, for example, but I don't know how much time you will spend in finding that data. Make sure that it is a dataset that calls for classification. Study the characteristics of the Irish dataset. Pattern the dataset that you are searching to the having the characteristic of Irish dataset. 3 species, 4 features, something like that. Step 2. If you want to use your own data, extract the features of the data. So you decided that you will make your own data. And these are the methods by which you can have that data. One is by measuring manual measurement using a ruler, a caliper, the features of that particular object that you want to classify. By means of using instruments, by means of various electronic instrument and sensors. Example is the spectroscopy. In terms of spectroscopy, there are so many variety. Near infrared spectroscopy, mid infrared spectroscopy, Raman spectroscopy, so on and so forth. Or by image processing. And so many other techniques that can measure a particular property of an object that you want to use as your data. Step 3 is subject the data to MATLAB classification learner app. Just like what we did in this video. Subject the data to the MATLAB classification learner app. The first video is how to use MATLAB classification learner app in Irish data. Just replace the Irish data with your data and that's good to go. The second video that is about MATLAB classification learner app is this. How to use the MATLAB classification learner app. In this, I just replace Irish dataset with Cibet copy versus non-Cibet copy dataset. That is my own data. Wherein I differentiated those two classes and I extracted the data using the near-infrared spectroscopy that is discussed in this video. So, if you have no MATLAB, how will you apply the MATLAB classification learner app? So, it is not a hindrance if you don't have a MATLAB. It's not a barrier because MATLAB is offering their evaluation version of MATLAB for 30-day use. So you can use the MATLAB version, for example 2020 version for 30 days without paying anything. Just download it in the website of MATLAB. And I think 30 days is long to finish classifying a particular object using this classification learner app. As I have showed in the video, the Irish dataset took only less than 10 minutes. I think it's in seconds before the results arrive. One thing I learned about MATLAB classification learner app is I don't need to perform lengthy statistics. That's what I like in classification learner app of MATLAB. Now, not going through the statistics road. And the classification is done only by the machine learning algorithms. If 30 days is not enough for you, but I think 30 days is long, you can download again in different pieces, different computer for continued use. Just use different email it's different PC, you can download again the 30-day evaluation version of MATLAB. Step 4, download published articles related to what you want to classify. So, a research is always based on another research. So, download researches that is related to what you are writing. It is explained in this video how to download research articles for free. In this video, I have revealed an ultimate technique. So, view it and master the ultimate technique. Step 5, write the contents of the paper. The contents of the paper is from, in this video, because it is writing a research title proposal, it's only chapter 1 to chapter 3. But if you are writing a paper, it should be from chapter 1 to chapter 5. Chapter 1 is introduction, chapter 2 is review of related literature, chapter 3 is methodology, chapter 4 results and discussion, chapter 5 summary, conclusion, and recommendation. So you can write a complete research paper. Step 6, subject your paper for plagiarism checking. It is discussed in this video. If you are a professor or a student, if you are a masteral student or doctoral student, it's very important to subject your paper to plagiarism checking, because one of the factors that a paper is rejected is it is full of plagiarism. You'll never know. You submit a paper to a particular journal that will use Turnitin, and they can reject your paper right away based on that alone. If your paper is plagiarized, it's automatically rejected. It's also important not only for graduate students but also for undergraduate students. Do not claim a statement or do not claim something that is not yours. Something that is written by other person and you're claiming that it is your own. It is not allowable in the academic world. Do not claim what is not yours. Step 6. And you will say, what if I don't have a Turnitin subscription? What if our university does not have any Turnitin subscription? That is not a barrier. There are so many plagiarism checker, online plagiarism checker available for free. One such online plagiarism checker is what we call Qtex. I think there is a difference of 5% between Turnitin and Qtex. 15% plagiarism in Turnitin, is 10% plagiarism in Qtex. So you must set your Qtex. If the requirement of your university is 15%, make sure that your paper is 10% in Qtex so that it will pass the evaluation. 15% requirement, less than 15% requirement in a particular journal. Make sure that it is 10% in, less than 10% in Qtex. So based on experiment, subjecting the same paper to Qtex and Turnitin, that's the difference that I have observed. Almost 5% difference. And another difference, Turnitin needs subscription fee, Qtex is free. And Turnitin is more user friendly. Chapter 7. After you have finished everything, your paper, subjecting it to plagiarism checker, now it's time to submit your journal for publishing. For starters, a paper written utilizing MATLAB classification learner app can be accepted in the following. There are two approaches, one with publication fee and the other no publication fee. So with publication fee, you can go to this journal, Talcomnica, Bulletin of Electrical Engineering and Informatics, International Journal of Electrical and Computer Engineering, Indonesian Electrical Engineering and Informatics, Indonesian Journal of Electrical Engineering and Informatics. These are all Scopus Index journal. I recommend this journal because they have extensive review, and the review is technical, not in terms of formatting. So I recommend these journals. And their publication fee for these journals range from $200 to $250 US. So it's 10,000 to 50,000. You need 10,000 to 15,000 pesos to publish in this journal. But I think it's worth it. If you don't have a budget don't have 200 to 250 US dollars for publication fee, you can choose the no publication fee approach. I recommend this journal, JT Syscom, also an Indonesian journal. It's not Scopus, but it is indexed in ASEAN Citation Index. It's not Scopus, it's very new journal. So, but I think they are in the way of being recognized in Scopus. If you don't want Scopus, if you don't want ASEAN Citation Index, you can go for other CHED recognized journal, Web of Science journal. But personally, I want Scopus and ACI. Step 8, supply what is required by the editor. Answer all the technical questions of the reviewers. Because the journal is legit, there will be a review. Oftentimes, there are 3 blind reviewers. Blind means they do not know you, you do not know them. They will review your paper to avoid bias. My technique is I answer one by one. I make a table with 2 columns. First column is for the questions of the reviewers, and the second column is for the answers, as well as where the reviewer can find my revisions. So this is my technique. Also, this technique has some advantage to it, because when you are applying for reimbursement, the committee in your school will ask for where is the review of where is the proof of the review of your paper. So if you have this, it will be very easy. Just show them the email and this, and these 2 columns of question and answers and the proof that you have emailed this to your editor, I think they will reimburse. There will be no... The process of reimbursing your publication fee will be smooth. Step 9, wait for your manuscript to be accepted. You will receive an email that the author is congratulating you that your manuscript is accepted in their journal. Also, the editor will ask you to pay for the publication fee. You can pay the publication fee using PayPal, linked to your bank account. PayPal transaction is safe. It is safe from hackers. It is safe from phishers. It is first owned by Elon Musk. So I think the reputation of Elon Musk has rubbed off with PayPal. I trust PayPal because of Elon Musk. Elon Musk, the owner of Tesla, he is the first owner, one of the first owner of PayPal before selling it. Pay the publication fee using PayPal, or you can also do it using bank transfer. I use Land Bank of the Philippines bank transfer. Their service is good. I have tried BDO, and Banco de Oro is good too. But some other banks, they don't have this service. They advertise themselves as a universal bank or something, a bank with a good reputation, but they don't have a bank transfer to Indonesia. They can't accept bank transfer to Indonesia. Something that you want to close your account because they don't have this kind of transaction. Step 10, the editor will ask for other documents such as the copyright transfer form or other documents. The copyright transfer form is you are transferring some of your rights from to the journal. If it's an intellectual property, some of your claims to the journal, some of the ownership, the ownership of your paper, it's just like something like that. You are transferring more of your ownership of that paper to that journal. Step 11 is wait for your manuscript to be published in that next issue of journal. So you don't need to worry because it is accepted. You have paid everything. There's no reason that they will reject it. Just wait for it to be published. Step 12, congratulate yourself. Job well done. You are now a solo author of an article. Don't forget to apply for reimbursement fee. $200, $250 is a big money. So reimburse. If it is Scopus, it will be reimbursed by the university. If it is a predatory journal, your technical committee will know it, and your money, 250 US dollars, you will not reimburse it if it's predatory. And also, I forgot to include it. Some university have incentives. They give incentives for those authors that have published an article. And what are those advantages of publishing article? Primarily, it's for promotion. It's a big points in promotion, especially in state universities and colleges in the Philippines. Another advantage is if you are a first-time author, It's a good feeling when you search, when you type your name in the Google search bar and your name will appear together with that article. So it's a very good feeling, and one of the reasons why I made this video is for others to have that feeling also. Even though your article is simple, everything starts for taking the first step. So congratulate yourself. Repeat the process. Share to others that writing paper is not that difficult and complicated as projected by some in the academy. Paper writing is not that scary, and it is fun to do. Once you have your first article published, you will acquire this what we call research culture, and you will be hungry for more. You will be hungry to publish more and more paper. You can choose to do this solo or collaborate with other researchers. If you are from agriculture, you can collaborate from the electronics engineering department or vice versa. So, and level up, upgrade your skills so that you can write higher impact paper in the future. But exhaust the technique. Classification. I have exhausted this technique already, and I have already showed and shared this to my undergrad students, and most of them have published papers on their own. So exhaust this technique as much as possible. And after that, you will get tired of using the technique, and you will move to higher impact type of research paper. So step 14, if this lesson or this video inspire you to or help you to publish or inspire you to write your first article, then you can subscribe to my channel and hit the bell button for upcoming videos coming. Step 15, there's no step 15. Thank you for watching, and happy paper writing. That's all.